Alright, everyone. It is so good to see you guys today again. Today, let us talk about body shaming. First of all, let us start with the facts. Before we get to body shaming, let us talk about suicide and suicidal rates. Right now, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. Each year, 42,773 Americans die via suicide. And not only that, get this, for every suicide, there are 25 attempts. Imagine that. 25 attempts of someone trying to kill himself or herself. And if we're gonna do the money talk, suicide costs the US $44 billion annually. It's a huge pain in the butt. But you know what? It is 100%, or maybe not 100%, let's say 99.9% preventable. Yes, there are a lot of things that cause suicide, but you know what? There are different reasons, and those reasons just come down to one outcome, and that's how we feel about the surroundings around us. That's how we feel about ourselves. And for this video, we're going to talk specifically about body shaming. A lot of women and men are going through body shaming from people each and every day, especially when, let's say, for example, they're too thin or they're too big by society's standards. Okay, I know people must be healthy, and if you are not healthy, then maybe you should do something about it. I mean, you might kill yourself eventually because of that. But bottom line is, if you're not happy with how you look, then go ahead, feel free to change yourself or something. But it's your responsibility if you're not happy with yourself. Other people should just leave other people alone, especially that it's not your freaking body. That probably didn't make any sense, but let me explain it to you. I know that it should be common sense that everyone should know it's not okay to body shame people for whatever they look, or however thin, or however fat they are. But before we get to it, let me just give you a little background on why I'm so frustrated and angry against body shamers. I grew up in the Philippines, and of course, Philippines is in Asia. Asians are naturally thin. They're slim, they have smaller waist or something. So that means for Asian standards, I am pretty fat. That's why when I got to the United States of America and people thought that I'm average sized, I was pretty happy. Well, maybe because people here are probably just bigger on average, but still that makes me happy because people are actually saying that I look normal, and for once in my life I'm not being told that I am like a pig or a whale, especially if it's coming from my freaking family members. So let's talk about that for a second. If you live in Asia or in the Philippines and you look a little larger than average by their terms, then good luck with that, because one way or another, you are going to get judged. I've heard people tell me how I looked older in the Philippines just because of my body size. I've had relatives tell me that I do not look good with a lot of weight on me, that I should, just stop eating because being fat is not a good thing physically in their terms. And throughout my teenage life and throughout puberty, I was just not feeling good about myself at all. Especially that those comments, those horrible comments are coming from my family members, calling me a pig, calling me disgusting just because I look different from them, just because I don't have the Asian standards of being thin. It hurts. And it gets depressing because you're not accepted by your family just because you look twice more than them, just because you have a little more weight than them. I'm not dying or anything. I'm not being unhealthy. I don't have any heart problems or something. I guess I'm just naturally like this. It's not like I don't try to be healthy. Trust me, I do. Just like this morning, I was eating fruits and vegetables and everything like that. I do try. It's just that, just like for some people, for people who are very thin, for some of them, no matter how they try, they're just not going to gain weight because that's how their bodies are naturally. Now, I'm not saying I'm big boned because I don't really know. But what I'm saying is that maybe it's just naturally like that for some people like me. So yes, long story short, it's pretty unacceptable in the Philippines if you are fat. Or fat by their standards. That's why, like I said, when I got here in Florida and people told me that I'm average looking, I got pretty happy. But then again, I have no escape from family who are just throwing mean comments at me just because of the way I look. That's why today we're going to talk about body shaming, just to let people know, people who should already know that it is not okay to put someone down just because of the way they look. I'm sorry, but if you don't think that someone is attractive by your standards, then you do not have the right to just straight up tell them that or give them mean comments or rude comments about how they look just because they don't fit your standards of beauty. It frustrates me so much whenever I see comments on social media, not just to me. I mean, I don't really get a lot of comments on social media, but whenever I see people talking down other people because of how they look, because of the way they eat or the way their body has more mass or something. And like I said a while ago, I do believe that people should be healthy, that we should be eating healthily. That way we do not hurt ourselves even more physically. We don't have any health problems. And that if you are not happy with the way you look, if you think you want to be thinner or you want to have more weight, then go ahead, fix that for yourself. Just go do some exercise or go and eat more. It really doesn't matter. It's really up to you. People should not be doing that for you, and you people should stop doing that for them. I don't even know how I'm going to stress this even more on this video. Body shaming is not freaking okay. You know what happens when you body shame someone? And I speak this based on my experiences in the Philippines, okay? You tell someone that they should not be happy with how they look. Oh, you should lose weight because you look ugly with more weight on you. Like, what the fudge is that? That doesn't make sense, okay? And you know what happens? That person that you're bringing down, they get depressed. They get sad. They don't think that they're enough. They don't think that they're pretty enough. And this is even worse if they're not even having any health problems, and that you're just saying that not because you're concerned about their health, but because you just want to bring them down just because they don't fit your standards of beauty. That is so wrong. So I'm just going to say this. When you tell that person that they are not good enough just because of their body weight or just because they're malnourished and they're super thin, they get sad. They don't think they're good enough for themselves. They don't think they're good enough for anyone. And then insecurities build. They think they're not pretty or handsome enough. They think they have the worst body type ever. They start comparing themselves with people on social media or with people around them. Thought that they're not good enough is getting fed by you, the person who's bringing them down, and by other people around them because of the comparisons. And you know what? When you have insecurities and when you think that you're not good enough, you just start getting depressed. This whole dark feeling inside of you builds up over time. That's why people are attempting suicide, because they think that that's the only way out. They can't go seek help from their family or friends because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes they're also the reason why you have depression, why you're so ashamed of yourself. Who else are we going to ask for help from? If not from our family, not from our friends, who else? I don't know who else. Yes, a lot of people will say that you should just, try and stop seeking for other people's approval. Just love yourself. And I do agree with that. However, if you already have insecurity, if you already have depression, and now you're feeling alone, how else are you going to learn to love yourself if you literally have no one around you for support? It takes time. Okay? It takes time to learn to accept yourself, to learn that you don't need other people's approval or acceptance. But during that span of time, what are you going to do? There's this long battle within yourself. You're fighting over how you look. It's an internal fight. And within that fight, there's a lot of thoughts that's going on in your head. And the major thought in your head, if it's going even worse every single day, is depression and suicide attempts. I know that body shaming is not the only cause for suicide attempts, and it's probably not the major cause as well. My point is, suicide is definitely preventable, and with the focus of this video, body shaming is preventable. It's not that hard to just respect everyone. Yes, it's okay to just, advise someone to, hey, you want to lose weight or something, or you might want to gain weight, if you are concerned with their health being. If you want them to be healthy. But if you're just bringing someone down, just telling them mean things, what? Does it make you feel confident about yourself? Does it make you feel better? No, it does not. It just makes you even worse, inside and out. You look a lot worse than that people that you're trying to bring down. I'm going to say this over and over again. Body shaming is not okay. Not okay for anyone. Do not body shame your family. Do not body shame your friends. Do not body shame anyone, even if it's just a stranger on the internet. It's not good, especially when you have the wrong reasons. So we need to stop that. We need to take every single measure that we can so we can prevent suicide or even suicide attempts. And we can start that by just respecting the people around us and not spreading hate, not spreading negativities. We just need to be there for other people because we have no idea what battles each other is trying to fight against. That's simple.